Donald Trump has been a force on the global stage for almost a decade now, but not every public moment has gone according to plan. These are the moments from him and his family that came off a little awkward.
As the First Lady, Melania Trump has experienced some pretty standout moments. But perhaps the incidents that we have seen most often played out in the media have been the awkward interactions, the less than subtle expressions, and the eyes she's appeared to have rolled while on the job. In one of her first ever viral moments, Melania's 2016 Republican National Convention speech made headlines, and it's no surprise as to why. Given on the first night of the event, it was a near carbon copy of a 2008 speech by Michelle Obama, and of course, the internet went nuts.
You work hard for what you want in life.
That you work hard for what you want in life.
After the viral speech and subsequent backlash, the Trump Organization shouldered the blame and eventually assigned the error to staff writer Meredith McIver. According to NPR, McIver claimed that Melania had simply admired Michelle Obama, and thus she incorporated some of Michelle's sayings into Melania's speech. But in the face of heated criticism, McIver apologized, saying in a statement, "This was my mistake, and I feel terrible for the chaos I have caused Melania and the Trumps, as well to Mrs. Obama. No harm was meant."
And people of the world, thank you.
Donald Trump's inauguration caught the attention of the nation, but it was an on-camera moment shared between him and Melania that had the internet buzzing. The temperature between the couple was ice cold when Melania smiled at Donald during his swearing-in ceremony and then opted for a resting frown when he turned away. Immediately after, the internet went crazy, with some calling the First Lady Sad Melania and speculating that she was caught in an unhappy marriage. According to body language expert Patty Wood, Melania's smile-to-frown reaction was the result of being let down by the president during what could have been a moment between the two of them. Wood told Cosmo, "Melania read it as, 'He's looking at me.' What created her facial expression is that she was expecting a moment, because he looked back, but he didn't connect with her." Regardless of what really happened, it was certainly an awkward way to mark the historical moment. But don't worry, we've got more where this came from. The Inauguration Day awkwardness continued when the first couple danced at the official ball that evening. And with just a quick look, it's clear that the First Lady was rigid in her posture, oftentimes pulling away from her husband's face. Millions of viewers took to social media to point out the body language on Melania's part, with one user posting, "Melania's face while dancing with Trump reminds me of the first time I went to the gynecologist." Another wrote, "Melania looks beautiful in her dress, but they look awkward dancing together."
So beautiful. Like from a movie set, so beautiful.
Expert Patty Wood broke it all down, telling Harper's Bazaar, "They didn't seem to have intimate moments during the dance. It didn't seem to be about them as a couple." While they were dancing, Trump even sang along to the music and engaged with the audience, another factor in the awkward tension between him and Melania. Wood added, "He was happy in the moment, but it didn't seem to be a shared, intimate moment." Trump's inauguration provided us so many awkward Melania moments that it's hard to keep track of them all. Nevertheless, here's another one. It all happened when the president-elect and his wife met with Barack and Michelle Obama at the White House. Melania, holding a gift for the outgoing Obamas, was seemingly swept to the side while the Donald made his way to his new home and office, not waiting even a beat for Melania to join him. As such, Patty Wood suggested of the scenario, he's not looking back, he's not waiting for her, he's not looking for her, and he's decided he wants to be introduced by himself rather than as a couple unit. He's saying, "I'm on my own, I am singular, I am president." That would be one way he shows his power. For the record, Melania was planning on staying in New York City until their son Barron finished up the 2017 school year. Maybe that kind of explains the vibe? If you thought Melania's awkward moment started at the swearing-in ceremony, it appears the First Lady kicked off the Trump's 2017 arrival to the nation's capital with an awkward hand-holding moment that made everyone cringe. While exiting their plane, the then president-elect reached for his wife, only for her to quickly grab his hand and drop it just as fast. The clunky moment was caught by major TV networks and was viewed by millions, who immediately offered their 2 cents. One user tweeted, "She is trapped." With another writing, "I think he needs to sign an executive order to force her to hold his hand."
I don't care. You could criticize whatever you want to say, but it will not stop me to do what I feel it's right.
Patty Wood explained that the very brief touching of hands was actually a sign of normalcy and that hand-holding could be a daily habit of the couples. But the internet didn't agree with that assessment and pointed to the very obvious awkwardness between the pair. But as Wood noted to Harper's Bazaar, the brevity showed me that they're making a decision not to show intimacy in the public eye. Trump is known for chatting up reporters and photographers while exiting the White House to talk about his administration. In 2018, he was joined by Melania, and in classic fashion, he took a minute to stop by the press. But this time, he left Melania not only by herself, but without any protection from the rain. And the whole awkward encounter was captured on camera. As Vanity Fair noted, the president couldn't help but interrupt their walk to the helicopter to go directly up to the news cameras.
She did a great job on television the other night. And I didn't do so bad either.
But unlike Donald, Melania is famously not as keen on speaking to the press and instead waited behind, in the rain, for him to wrap up. Not only did Donald not share his umbrella with his wife, but he also didn't make any effort to reciprocate her hand-holding. In a rare moment for this couple, Melania finally walked up to Donald and tried to hold his hand, only to find that he was holding a USA hat instead. As First Lady, Melania has made numerous diplomatic appearances around the globe. In 2017, the president joined her during a visit to Israel, and unfortunately, the trip conjured up one of the most watched awkward interactions between the pair. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his wife Sarah greeted the Trumps when they arrived, even rolling out the red carpet for them to walk down after exiting Air Force One. As the Trumps descended the stairs, Donald reached for his wife's hand, only for her to visibly swat him away from her. It was indeed the swat heard around the world, and the video capturing the awkward flick of the wrist was quickly uploaded to Twitter by a Middle Eastern media outlet. According to CNN, Melania later reciprocated her husband's efforts as she and Donald were seen holding hands during their visit. But hand-holding is temporary, and that video on Twitter is forever. After the incident, Melania appeared to become more sly with her avoidance of her husband's hands. But even so, she awkwardly got out of locking fingers with Trump in 2018, and she used her clothing to obscure her available hand, hiding the interaction from the cameras. Luckily for us, Twitter is home to some beady-eyed watchers, and the moment quickly found its way to the internet. The video appeared to show Melania using her coat to tuck her hand away from her husband. He then forged on in, leading his wife to Air Force One, but the moment had already been captured forever. It may not have helped that the news of Donald's alleged 2006 affair with adult film star Stormy Daniels had just made serious headlines at the time.
No one ever looked twice at me before, and now suddenly everyone's looking at me.
But in the midst of all the hand-oriented missed connections between the couple, there was the very formal-seeming Joint Base Andrews incident. In 2017, Melania took the stage in front of members of the military and introduced her husband, who in turn offered his wife a handshake. To make matters worse, he then gestured for her to get off the stage. Of course, the awkward moment was not lost on the Twitterverse.
Thank you very much. At ease. At ease.
One user posted, "Nothing says I love you, my wife, like a firm handshake and false pleasantries." And another asked, "Did he give a slight push out of the way?" Regardless of the intention, the interaction notched yet another awkward First Lady moment. The names Donald Trump and Twitter almost feel synonymous due to the president's constant messaging and retweeting. But despite her own mellow social media presence, Melania has been known for some jaw-dropping tweets, and one tiny action in 2017 turned a lot of heads. The First Lady's personal Twitter account liked, and then unliked, a tweet about her not being a fan of Donald. As it was her personal account and not the official FLOTUS Twitter, it was easy to spot. The tweet in question was posted by writer Andy Ostroy and read, "Seems the only wall Donald Trump has built is the one between him and Melania Trump."
I support my husband 100%.
We don't know if Melania's liking of the tweet was a slip-up, a hack, or a purposeful display of her true feelings towards her husband, but the internet caught it, and we can't unsee what we saw.
The best is yet to come!
The 2020 Republican National Convention really was the event that just kept on giving. From Kimberly Guilfoyle's very loud speech to Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell claiming that Democrats want to limit the amount of hamburgers people eat, the whole affair was pretty wild. But no moment caught the attention of social media more than Melania's greeting of Ivanka Trump on stage and the apparent exasperated eye roll that accompanied it.
And the 45th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
After the president's daughter made the introductions as Trump accepted his second nomination, Melania smiled at her, but immediately seemed to widen her eyes with an apparent sense of grief. We don't know exactly what the First Lady was thinking or why she reacted to Ivanka the way she did, but the moment sure opened some eyes. This may be one of the only viral moments that actually worked in Melania's favor. While visiting Poland in 2017, the president and Melania met Poland's first lady and the Polish president. But after shaking President Duda's hand, the Donald extended his hand to First Lady Duda. But instead of taking it, she promptly walked past him and greeted Melania first. Following suit, the internet had a blast with the viral footage.
I want to thank President and Mrs. Duda for their warm welcome.
Of course, Poland's First Lady eventually shook Donald's hand, but the awkward exchange and Melania's surprised expression regarding the whole incident shook viewers, with one YouTube user posting, "The Polish First Lady knows what's up. Ladies first." If Trump is known for anything, it is his apparent love of the national anthem and the American flag, which he has hugged and kissed in the past. But his passion for all things patriotic hit the skids in 2017. During the annual White House Easter egg roll, Melania was forced to nudge Donald to put his hand over his heart during the anthem. And like many of their clunky interactions, it went viral.
On behalf of the President and Baron, and Happy Easter.
As guests looked on, the First Lady and the couple's son Barron put their hands over their hearts when the anthem began, but the president did not. After his wife's nudge, however, Donald quickly realized the error of his ways. It seems like Melania has a habit of correcting Trump's behavior, and because of the couple's high-profile existence, most of those moments are captured forever on video. So, in yet another bumbling interaction, Melania asked Donald where his sunglasses were as he looked straight at the sun during the 2017 solar eclipse. This time, an entire audience witnessed the moment firsthand. Remember, when you watch the eclipse without special glasses, you can really damage your eyes.
Well, on Monday, President Trump stared directly into the sun.
Of course, the president quickly produced a pair of glasses from his pocket, but the internet had a field day over the awkward exchange between him and his wife. As The Guardian noted, at approximately 2:39, the president initially gesticulated to the crowd below and pointed at the sky. As he did so, one of the White House aides standing beneath the Blue Room balcony shouted, "Don't look!"
Ding dong!